Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Nadia Bihar Shri Gaura Hari. Nadia Bihar Shri Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Hey, 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 Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Chaya Bhega Doli, Chaya Dosha Shodi, Chaya Guna Bhega Dase. Chaya Satsanga, Deho e amare, Vosashi Sangirate. Ekaki amar, nahi parvalo, Harinama Sankirtane. Tumi kripa kori, Radha bindu niya, Deho Krishna nama jane. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shukti rache. Amito Kanga, Krishna Krishna Bole, Daitava Pache Pache. Oh hey, Vaishnava Thakur, Royala Sagara, Dasa Karuna Kori. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jaya Prabhupada. Now we're gonna. What do you want me to do? Move over here? What do you mean we'll come back? Where are we going to go? Okay, let's have a kirtan in the kitchen. Ujjvala varana, Doravada Deham, Vilasita Niramare, Baba Videham. Tribhumana Pavana Kripaya Lesham Tam Pramamami Ja Shri Sachitandayam. Here we go. Is that offered? Gagaram Tada Baba Vikaram Durjana Varjana Maradradadadada. Come in or no? Mababaya bhajana karuna karunam tam pranamami cha Shri Sachitandayam. They kicked us out. Nindit. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Hare Bol. Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning everyone and happy Gaur Purnima. This morning, all of you who are seated here near the sacred fire pit will be taking Harinam initiation. And this is an auspicious day for such an occasion. as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eager that people from all over the world would come together and join the Sankirtan movement to spread it all over the world. And also take advantage of the fruit of the chanting of Hare Krishna. So all of you have very wisely invested your lives, your hearts, your souls, your minds in the Sankirtan movement and have been chanting Hare Krishna, some of you for several years. And now, by Krishna's arrangement, you're all here. And by your sincere desire to enter deeply within the process of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. So congratulations to all of you for being here on Gaura Purnima. Hare Krishna. And we need a little heart. Everyone else who's here, it's your job to pour out as much goodwill, mercy from your hearts as possible. With your presence here makes everything worthwhile. Those of you who have been here, been practicing for many years. So we'll begin this morning by performing Achman, and I'll direct you how to do that. Do it one time. And then we'll chant the Sri Brahma Samhita, and I'll say a few words about the process of initiation, and then we'll have the fire ceremony. So please repeat after me. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sabaya Apyandara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Now you see a little water cup there next to you. And take the spoon in your left hand and open up your right palm and put in 3 drops of water. And then sip the water and say, but first say, Om Keshavaya Namaha. Now 3 more drops. Om Narayanaya Namaha. And sip the water. And 3 more drops. Om Madhavaya Namaha. And now with that mantra we sang, we find the essence of the practice of Krishna consciousness, which is whatever condition of life we're in now, whether pure or impure. When we remember Krishna, then we become pure, inside and out. And as we move through this material world, inevitably we'll be wading through the modes of nature, most of them on the lower side of rajas and deeply into tamas. Sattva is hard to find here in this world, but if you remember Krishna, Mam chayo vyabhicharina bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma puhyaya kalpate. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you continue practicing devotional service, then you'll rise above gunatita. You rise above the material modes and material nature and come into Krishna's embrace in the spiritual energy. And that's your intention for this initiation. It's the purpose of taking the vows that you'll take today. And now, as Srila Prabhupada expressed to us in 1975 in Chicago, the temple room was about twice as big as this, and it was full, maybe 1,000 devotees. And there were many initiates. I don't remember the exact number, but it was probably 70 or 80. And then there were 3 sets of Gaura deities on the altar, because it was simultaneously an installation for 3 sets of Gaura deities that were going on the buses. because at that time there were many buses driving around, and all those devotees would get initiated and get on the bus with Gaur Nitai, and then travel town to town. And when we were there, Rohini Kumar Prabhu, who's literally the founder of ISV, had introduced many of the devotees there to the proper chanting of the Sri Brahma Samhita and the Purusha Sukta, which he did during the ceremony, and afterwards Prabhupada said he liked it very much. In fact, as Mukaravinda Prabhu revealed to us the other night, he wrote it in his purport that we should have this regularly, the chanting of Purusha Sukta. And we know he said Brahma Samhita also. So at least for now, since we just started learning the Purusha Sukta, we'll chant the verses from the Brahma Samhita. Does that sound like an okay idea to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, we'll put it up on the screen so everyone can follow along. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govinda Mari Purusham Dhamaham Bhajami Enum Kwanantam Aravindam Dalayataksham Bhadhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Tandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govinda Mari Purusham Dhamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasadvanamaya Vamshi Radnagadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribangalitam Niyata Prakasham Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadushvala Vigrahasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktao Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sambrakamyo Vayodatapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam Sobyasti Yat Prapadasindya Vichintya Tattve Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Eko Kasaura Charitum Jagadanda Kotin Yashakti Rasti Jagadanda Chayayatanta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Bhava Bhavita Vyo Manujastataiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhusha Suktarya Deva Nigama Pratithayastuvanti Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavish Tabirya Eva Nijarupa Tayakalavi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Amena Tishtam Nanavatara Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Koti Shvashesha Vasudari Vibhuti Pinnam Tad Brahma Nishkalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Tregunya Tad Vishaya Veda Vitayamana Sadvavalambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmakaya Manasu Yapranidam Pratipalam Smaratam Upetya Leelayatena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jastram Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijadamni Taleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Tete Prabhava Nichaya Vihitashtrahina Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Kristiti Pralaya Sarana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Viparati Durga Ichcharu Rupam Api Yasya Chacheshtatesa Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yadharam Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahitata Pratikasti Heto Yashambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyat Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Diparcha Eva Hirashandanamabhyupetya Dipayate Vrivrita Hetu Samana Karma Yastadrigeva Hicha Vishnu Chaya Vibhati Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakharanana Bhajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha Adhara Shaktim Abalamya Param Samurtim Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasyaika Nishvasita Kala Matavalamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata Vishnur Mahansa Iha Yasya Kaladishesho Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Bhasvanyatasna Shukadeshu Nijeshu Teja Swiyam Kiya Prakadaya Tapitatvadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignam Vihantu Malamasya Jagatrayasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahir Ganganamamurudishascha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti yamcha Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakshakshire sasavita sakalagrahanam Raja samasta suramuti rashesha tejaha Yasyajnaya brahmati samvrita kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Dharmota papanichaya shrutayastapansi Brahmadikita patagavadayascha jiva Yadatra matra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasundra gopam matavendra mahosa karma Bandhanu rupa palapajana matanoti Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayari bhiti Vatsalya moha guru gaurava seva bhavai Sanchintya tasya satrishim dharma purete Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Sri Akanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumishchintamani Ganamayi Toyamamritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Apivam Shri Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi Taraswadyam Apicha Sayatra Shiradi Sravati Suravibhya Shisumahan Nime Sadhya Kyova Vajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya Vaje Shvetati Pam Tamaham Lokamityam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Virlachala Katipaye Ato Vacha Mahavishnur Bhagavantam Prajapatim Raman Mahabhavignane Prajasarge Chachimati Pancha Shlokim Imam Vidyam Vatsatattvam Vibodhame Prabhude Jnana Bhakti Vidyam Mahayananda Chinmayi Pure Junatama Bhaktir Bhagavat Prema Lakshana Pramana Istat Saracharaya Stadabhyasir Nirantaram Bodhayanatmanatmanam Bhaktimapyuktamam Labed Yasya Shreyaskaram Nasti Yaya Nivritumapnuyat Yassariyatimameva Bhaktim Tameva Sadayet Dharmamanyam Parityaja Mamekam Vaja Vishwasam Yadrishi Yadrishi Shruta Siddhir Bhavati Tadrishi Urvandirantaram Karma Lokoyam Manuvartate Tenaiva Karmana Jayam Mam Param Bhakti Nikshati Aham hi Vishwasya Characharasya Ijam Pradhanam Prakriti Pumanscha Maya Hitam Teja Idam Bibarshi Vide Videhi Twamato Jaganti Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachirananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Iti Sri Brahma Samhita Sampurnam Hare Om. So today is called Gora Purnima. The Purnima is indicative of the moon cycle. It's a full moon tonight. And it's also a special day because marked on the calendar. It's the day that one of Krishna's, Krishna being God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, makes his avatar. And avatara means one who descends. The idea behind this, as Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, is that as souls, it's possible for us to sink into a lower type of existence. Because God has multifarious energies, but there are generally two categories. Well, three actually, including us. One is conscious spiritual energy, which is full of light and knowledge and bliss, and that's what makes up the spiritual world. And then there's what's called his external energy, which is the material world. It's still beautiful, the material world, because it has variety, and it's also the energy of God, but it's certified lower. And Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita how there are elements which are not conscious, like earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These, he says, are the material, gross and subtle energies. But besides these, he says, there's another energy, which is the souls, which in more precise or modern language, it's consciousness. But it's not an amorphous consciousness that's all one, but it's individualized. Each one of us have a sense of our individuality. That's why we all pick a different color car, or we have various likes and dislikes. We're individuals. And that individuality that we're experiencing now, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, is an eternal truth. We're always individuals. We're individuals, and we existed before we came into this situation that we're in now. Situation meaning we have a particular body, we have a job, perhaps, still, or maybe we live in a particular neighborhood, we have a family, we consider ourselves, according to our place of birth, to be American or to be British or Indian. And all of these are temporary, but they're our life situation for now. Krishna says that besides this temporary life situation that we're in now, is our eternal occupation, which is to be in the spiritual world, where there's also, well, I shouldn't say also, I should say about this world, there's also variety. Because as described in the Bhagavad Gita, this world is a reflection of the spiritual world. If you have a circle, 360 degrees, half is the reflection and half is reality. And when the soul, which is the third kind of energy, which is called tatastha, which means marginal, we can go anywhere. We can be in the spiritual energy, which is full of bliss and knowledge and eternality, or because of a sense of our eternal sense of independence, we can also venture into the material energy. And in that energy, we can forget our original eternal position as spiritual souls and servants of God. And so when Krishna makes his avatar to this world, his intention is to give a process and the knowledge to follow the process so that the soul can awaken and come back to its original state of being Krishna conscious, conscious of God. There are many statements about this, and in a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which we sang part of earlier this morning, he describes how the soul's sleeping and to its real identity. And that's by hearing the spiritual sounds. For instance, the Hare Krishna mantra is a spiritual sound. It's coming from the highest position in the spiritual world. In another song, not the one I'm quoting now, but it says, Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. That the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, a sample of which you can give now. That mantra and the name, which is composed of names of God, is an avatar also. It comes from the spiritual world into this world. And by hearing that sound, it's very much like the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy got bumped on the head. I think it was a tornado, because she probably lived, where did she live? Kansas, thank you. I got to know my Shastra. She lived in Kansas, where there are tornadoes, and after being bumped on the head, she entered into a dreamland. She was unconscious, apparently, as we find out in the end. But everything seemed real, and there was a wicked witch, and there was a good witch, and there was Tin Man and the lion, Scarecrow. Thank you, everybody. I haven't watched it in a long time. And Robot. And, of course, there was Oz, and then the dog, Toto. That one I remember. It was a harrowing experience she had there, fluctuating between the good witch and her benevolence and the bad witch, who was sinister and scary. For me as a kid, it really scared me thinking about that. And on the journey, she came to know an incantation by which she could come back to her original consciousness. Does anybody remember that, what it was? There's no place like home. I think she had to click her heels also. If anybody wants to correct me, go ahead, because I'm not fully studied on this, but 3 clicks of the heels, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And by that mantra and clicking her heels, she came back into her home in Kansas. And everyone was worried about her. All her loved ones were there. And that was the reality that she came back to after that harrowing journey she had through the land of Oz. And there's a way in which the Bhagavatam describes how we're sleeping, or the song I'm talking about is we're sleeping, and we're having these dreams about our lives, our life situation. Sometimes it's very scary, and there's a way in which we sometimes feel we've come into good fortune, and we feel elated, but then we lose that fortune, whatever it might have been, due to circumstances, which people can probably relate to. And it comes and goes. And then there is a sound that comes and a mantra that comes from the spiritual world. And the avatar who brings that to teach it to everybody, the Hare Krishna mantra, is a sound of home. You can hear your spiritual home first. You hear it. Or you can hear God first also, because he appears in sound. It's the philosophy behind the Krishna consciousness movement and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, that the mantra itself is an avatar, and by chanting it, we awaken from the dream, and we come back to reality. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's the avatar of Krishna, who appeared on this day, much over 500 years. We've been saving 500 years since I joined the movement, which was 52 years ago. So it must be 552 years or something like that he appeared. And his idea was to go everywhere and give everyone a chance to take this mantra as a non-sectarian process. He taught that the name of God and God himself are non-different. Such ideas have also been prevalent in other theological systems of the world and debated at different points, but unabatedly he taught that this is the main process. And it's also mentioned in the ancient wisdom literatures that when one chants the name of God, then one is directly in contact. For instance, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the easiest way to contact God or Krishna is to chant his name. Because by chanting the name, then you're directly in the presence of God. Of course, we may not realize that at first because we're distracted. And we may be thinking of other things, so we're not tuned in. So initiation means that we're getting tuned in. Because there's a way in which, if I went to one of the universities in the area, let me pick one, UC Berkeley, and I walked into one of the labs where the students are looking at some kind of hormone or something. What do you look at in your telescope in Berkeley? Microscope. Thanks, you're cool. I wouldn't know what I was looking at, nor do I even know what I'm talking about right now, but that's case in point that although we may have a process, until we're studied in it, until we begin to specialize in it and become serious about it, it doesn't penetrate. So initiation means that it's penetrated. We've felt the power of chanting Hare Krishna and also the benefits of living a life free of encumbrances. There are major encumbrances in this life that I see present in every duty-free shop of the world. They're all the same, everywhere. We've recently been in Hong Kong, we were in Singapore, been in London, been in Bombay, Delhi, any others? All the same duty-free shop. They have whiskey, cigarettes, they have chocolate. We won't go there because perfume. There are ways in which there are many ideas in this world about how one might be happy and enjoy. The idea of dangling a cigarette from one's mouth has been around for a long time in movies. Somebody thinks it looks cool. And there are other kinds of vices in this world that are just that. They're vices. They're not necessary, and they distract us from clear consciousness. And so along with the chanting of Hare Krishna, there's a way in which in the initiation ceremony, each one of the initiates makes a vow that makes the whole earth, not just the earth, but the universe rumble. You'll feel it when each of you come up here and you make your vows. You'll feel a rumbling in the universe. Because these vows are so unusual compared to the status quo of the duty-free and any downtown in any place in the world where whether you're in Morocco or you're in Minneapolis, you're going to find the same shops up and down the street. Be a lot of restaurants. And there's going to be some clothing shops so you can buy yourself a nice new hat while you're there. And maybe a suitcase and a few knickknacks and doodads. But you're not going to find a place where self-realization is prevalent or the holy name is offered. There's a verisimilitude of these things. In fact, I remember, although it's closed now, ironically, the cosmetics store that we used to walk past in going to chant Hare Krishna in downtown Palo Alto was called Infinite Beauty. And every time I walked by there, they offered me a little free sample that said Infinite Beauty on it. It was a cream. And obviously, I didn't use it. Unfortunately, I lost my packet. And then I noticed that the store is closed, which I found ironic because the implication behind the idea of infinite beauty is they'll be there forever, and if you take this, you'll be beautiful forever. Where did that idea come from? If you find gold in the desert, which is otherwise barren, you might ask, who's been here? Who left this here? How did it get here? And similarly, in this world where we don't find infinite beauty, although we certainly search for it, where did the idea come from that there's infinite beauty? It comes from the spiritual world of which we're a part. And when we're able to clear the brush, moving out to each side the unnecessary practices in our lives, which are foolish. For instance, don't drink anything that you could ignite. And the lungs have a hard enough time as it is nowadays, filtering out everything, so don't blow anything extra in there, etc., etc. All of these unwanted things are something that one can declare loudly to the universe during initiation and say, that's it, I'm opting out. I'm out of that. And one can stay integrated in the world and be at one's job or with friends and so forth, but everyone will know, oh yeah, this person is not interested in these distractions. And that causes a ruckus in and of itself. At first, people often say, oh, why are you doing that? And then after a few days, and you're like, well, how do you do that? And after it's like, oh, maybe I could do it too. People look for ways in which they can rise above the various habits of the world that seem to hold them back from expanding their own potential. And so along with this very direct process of connecting with God, the initiates also take vows so that it's on the record, so that wherever they go, they don't have to involve themselves in the great distractions of life. And they can go on with their practice, which they will vow to do every day. So those are the two simple processes, although it's not ordinary. Most people think about taking steps towards improving themselves drastically, but it's very rare that anybody takes such steps and makes a vow to do them throughout their whole life. And oftentimes when people are near the end of their lives, they think back to all the opportunities they've had that I wish I had done more to improve myself spiritually, but I was caught up in all the distractions of life. So you don't have to do that because you've taken a path which is extraordinary. It's beyond the ordinary path of the material world. And it's a clarion call that you've heard because you've read the Bhagavad Gita and you've read the Srimad Bhagavatam and it has spoken to you. And you're chanting Hare Krishna. And in the chanting of Hare Krishna, you feel improved. Otherwise, and I know this from talking to all of you and observing all of you, and that's why you're here today, right? Say yes. Yes. And if you came in the wrong room and actually, and you're saying you could stay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of the myriad avatars of God, and God has myriad avatars. He comes in different moods and at different times to show himself to the world and to give teachings according to the time, place, and circumstance. In the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we're in a particular age now called Kali. And at this period, because it's an onerous time for people to live and try to exist, and just to stay alive for most people. For 98% of the population, it's difficult just to maintain a family and have enough food to eat. And it's also a time when there's a lot of confusion. It's a time when there's a lot of distraction, there's a lot of quarrel. This is according to the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this age, there's a simple path for self-realization, and it's described as the chanting of the holy names of God. So one of the prescriptions given in our line of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is to daily chant, to count how much you're chanting so you don't cheat yourself and start doing fewer than you said you signed up for. And a prescription, someone may say, well, why 16 rounds? Well, there's a way in which when you go to a doctor, the doctor may tell you, you take 2 of these or 3 of these. I generally don't ask why. If I know that the doctor is certified, and if I go to some place and ask, where did you do your education? They said, I took a YouTube course. And don't worry, it's cool, because my brother also taught me a lot. You might question, what are you giving me anyway? But if you go to a doctor who's been through the rigors of medical school and has the diploma on his or her wall, and they're working for a main... I don't know if this example will resonate with everybody, because there's a lot of animus towards the medical profession nowadays. But I'm giving a crude example. And that is, when you go, you don't necessarily ask, why do I take 2? Why not 3? Or you don't speculate and say, well, maybe I'll take twice as much or half as much. You consult the doctor, and if you don't think that you got a good diagnosis and a good prescription, then you can always get a second opinion. And taking initiation means you've done your due diligence. It means that you've found that the idea of axiomatic truth is sound, because it's necessary in any discipline or any philosophical system. You have to have a place where you say, okay, I trust the source. And then after that, when you get a prescription and the medicine, then the point is you have to take it. Get one of those little boxes that make sure that it has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you put them all in ahead of time, and then you make sure you take them every day. And if you notice that you forgot to take one on Monday and it's already Wednesday, you go back and you make sure. Well, medicine, I don't know. But with the chanting, it's measured in that way, so you don't miss the prescription. And it's very similar. If you don't like 16 rounds as a prescription, you can always go and try to get a second opinion. And maybe some other doctor, spiritual doctor, will say, oh, just chant in your mind, or chant 4. But we very specifically trust our doctor, especially because of his example. Srila Prabhupada, who we have prominently sitting on this seat called the Vyasasana, which is a seat prevalent in any one of the institutions that bring this teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to show that there is an authority present who brought the message down through what's called disciplic succession, that there is a line of doctors who are all certified, and each one of them have considered the dosage very carefully and then prescribed it. And so we have that prescription, and that's the mood in which we take 16 rounds a day. And some have had asked Prabhupada, well, why only 16 rounds? And he said, well, you can also chant 16,000 rounds if you have the taste for it and the time. But the minimum is 16 rounds a day. And that's important because with any kind of medicine, you would like to know what the minimum is for you to gradually have the good effects of the medicine. So that's the number, 16. And of course, you can chant more if you wish at any at different intervals, but it's good to stay steady at 16 rounds. So 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, in his childhood, he was a great scholar, noted for his intelligence, so much so that the elder scholars who would, at that time in history, come around and challenge everybody to debate. It was an active sport. That was the main sport of the time. And he defeated them all, even as a young boy. And he became a hero and heroic in knowledge. After he was established in that way as a great intellectual, he had gone to Gaya to perform a last rites ceremony for his father who passed. And while he was there, he met his guru, Srila Ishvara Puri. And after meeting his guru and taking the same vows that you'll take today to chant Hare Krishna, he came back to his hometown in Navadvip, and people didn't recognize him anymore. He was completely different. And when he came back to his job, he had taken a hiatus from his job to go to Gaya. But he came back, he had a job. Do you know what it was? He was a teacher. The students were alarmed because then he began teaching, as he was teaching grammar at the time, in Sanskrit grammar. It's a little complicated. It takes some concentration and a long time to learn because it's a very precise language. He started saying about grammar, specifically dhatu, when the students asked him. Dhatu means the irreducible part of a word that is in its root form. And verbs in Sanskrit get conjugated and nouns get declined. And there's a way in which that all occurs from the root word. And so he said, dhatu, that means Krishna, because everything comes from Krishna. And he said, just like there are energies that come from, just as there are meanings that morph from every dhatu in Sanskrit. So he said, every one of the nuances in this world, it comes from Krishna. And when the students would ask him simple questions about grammar, he said, everything means Krishna. So they went to his teacher and said, we don't know what he's teaching us. So his teacher called Nimai to come to his office, and he said, hey, what are you teaching? Teach it the correct way. And he said, you're the best teacher anywhere. And he replied, did Nimai, that bring any scholar here and let them debate me, and I will defeat them in the open marketplace. And then he left. Meanwhile, the students became so attached to him that they didn't want to leave him, although they were bewildered by his style of teaching. But everyone had been astounded by the change in him. He did then travel as a sannyasi, after he took sannyas later, and coming to an important and relatable aspect of this Leela of Lord Chaitanya's. After he had gone to Vrindavan, he was just leaving town with 4 associates, and as he often did, he fainted in ecstasy when chanting Hare Krishna. At that time, students were gathered around him trying to revive him, and some soldiers came up on horses, and they accused his associates of drugging him and trying to steal his valuables, which is interesting because Mahaprabhu at that time was a sannyasi. And so he then woke up from his trance. He yelled out 2 words. You know what they were? Haribol. Go ahead. Yeah. And then he started conversing with the soldiers. And they were patans. They had, one of them was deeply religious and wore a black gown. And there were several more that were more intimidating. But one of them, upon seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became soft-hearted and wanted to hear from him. And there on the hillside, Mahaprabhu began speaking to them about the Koran and conversing about its meaning, and said that the ultimate purpose is to develop love for God, and that there is a personal God. There are many details in his teachings, but the result of his standing there on the hilltop and talking to these Patan soldiers was that one of them, first of all, the very religious one, wanted to become a student of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he submitted himself and he said, "How may I become your follower, your disciple?" And then there was one more who was named Bajuli Khan. And he was a young man. He was the son of the king, a prince. And he had just been traveling with these soldiers. And he said, "Me too. I'm also interested." They were attracted to Mahaprabhu and what he said, and they were convinced. And so there on the hillside, Mahaprabhu had given the name Ramdas to the very religious person with the black gown on. And doesn't say what name he gave to Bajuli Khan. But the purport indicates that he had initiated him there on the hillside. And then Prabhupada says a couple things. One is, it's the system when you take initiation that you accept a new name. Would you like to know what your names are? For the men, Das, and the women, Dasi. So, yeah, that's good. I could just tell you a personal anecdote. When I was eager to find a spiritual path and had been really searching and praying, I first got Back to Godhead magazine, and I was reading through and noticing that the students were all either called Das or Dasi, and I was thinking, how do you get one of those? I want one of those. And so it's the most exalted of names. If you can get a name Das or Dasi, it means that you're an insider in Krishna's family because you've committed yourself to a life of service. And as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in one of his songs, Jiv Krishna Das, e Bishwas, Korleto Ardukonai, when you develop this conviction, this Bishwas, that I'm better off serving Krishna than serving myself, he said, for you, no more misery. All the attachments we have in this world, they cause us so much anxiety. And there's a way in which, when we're attached to things in this world, which is completely natural to be attached, we try to hold on to them, but we can't. For instance, money. It's really hard to hold on to. Have you noticed that? It comes and goes. You think you're rich and then you're poor, or you think, whatever. It's like, what to speak of artifacts. You try to hold on to some valuable book or a painting or something like that, and it'll maybe be in the family for a long time, then suddenly gone. And things come and go in this world. And so the idea of being a Das or a Dasi is that instead of trying to hold on to these for a sense of satisfaction or a perceived idea that now I'm wealthy, because most of that is perceived because I look at nowadays a screen and there's a number at the bottom and I go, okay, that's good, but it's not enough, no matter what the number is. And it gives an idea that, if I need that, it's always there. It'll protect me. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami says, Deha patra kalatradeshu atmasainisa satsapi, tesham pramodanitanam pashyanapi na pashyati. He said, this is only perceived wealth. It comes and goes. You can't keep it. So the Dasas and the Dasis know this. So they play a trick on the material world, on the illusory energy. Because illusory energy is like trick on us, that you'll be happy here in the material world just by trying to get comfy. You're never going to get comfy. I mean, I hate to break it to everybody, spoiler alert, but there is no comfort here in the material world that lasts. It just doesn't exist. So the Dasa and the Dasi say, okay, I have all these things. I'll be attached to them, but for a different reason, to use them in service. And as long as I can use them in service to God, then they're useful for me. Otherwise, they don't belong to me. They belong to Krishna. And therefore, whether they come or whether they go, that's not my business. And you can calculate how this works, because if you have something and you try to hold on to it for your own satisfaction, and then you inevitably lose it, then you don't get any credit. Yes or yes? No, there's no credit, because you just lost it like everybody else. Like somebody had a house and then it burned down. And you tried to hold on to the house, but you couldn't, so you're like everyone else. But if, when you have something that you know is temporary, but then you use it in service to Krishna, God, then you get eternal credit for it. Which would you like? The eternal credit, or to be like everybody else and lose all your stuff because of an unceremonious swell of material nature that comes and takes it away? Yeah, I thought so. And that's the idea behind becoming a Dasa or Dasi, that I'm a servant here in this material world. And fine if I have lots of things, but they're only paraphernalia to be used in Krishna's service. So, manasa deho geho yo kichumor. Lord Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, whatever I have, body, mind, soul, family, car, money, it's all just in the service of God. That's Das or Dasi. That's what you signed up for, right? It's the only peace of mind. As Krishna Bhakti Nishkam Ataiva Shant Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakaliya Shanta. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says, the Krishna Bhakta, the Das or the Dasi, is the only peaceful person in the world, because they only look at the world as paraphernalia to be used in Krishna's service. But Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami, everybody else who wants something, they want a cut from it. Where's my cut? Once you have that, ashanta, then you're never peaceful. And you never get to keep your cut anyway. Somebody's going to cut in line and take your cut. And then you don't get it. So better just to sign everything off, just like very wealthy people. They don't own anything. That's why they don't pay taxes. They sign everything over. It's like, okay, time to pay taxes. I didn't make any money. Oh, how is that? You live in a royal lifestyle here. It's like, yeah, that's not mine. That belongs to the company. And the company, that's their business. They have their own accounting system. But for me, no. Everything I use, I'm only using in the service of the company. So I don't pay anything. And it's a similar system here of the Das or Dasi. You opt out of the material world, where you get karma for everything you try to keep. Every little thing you put behind your back. It's not that the material nature doesn't account for that. They're much more astute than the IRS. Sorry to bring it up. And so this is a great relief to surrender to Krishna. And the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Devarshi bhutatnam nrinam pitrinam nakinkaro nayam ranicha rajan sarvatmadaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritikhartam. This is the same thing that's in the accountant's handbook that teaches people how to opt out of paying taxes. That if you give everything to Mukunda, Krishna, and like, I only use it in Krishna's service, then you're no longer a debtor in the material world. You don't owe debt to anyone. But if you do have debts, pay them off. Don't think you can walk away from that. It just means that you're not accountable for all that you do, because you're doing everything for Krishna. So it doesn't go into your ledger. So each one of you has an individual impetus to be a servant of Lord Chaitanya. And we're going to call each of you up. And you can, if we make a little pathway, just a slight arrangement, so the initiates can go and offer obeisances to Prabhupada and then come here and offer your obeisances here. Then we'll give you a seat. You can sit on the seat and we'll give you a microphone. And we would like to hear your vows. And so would everybody online. Hare Krishna. And then also we have for each one of you someone who wanted to speak for 1 minute and 59 seconds to give an indication of what is your context here, how did you get here, and so forth. And we'll start by putting your neck beads on. And these neck beads, now we see some devotees coming forward with neck beads to help you out. If you've assigned somebody, see, I'm wearing neck beads. There's 3 strands. When you take to the process of Krishna consciousness, you can wear 1 strand. When you're aspiring for initiation, you can wear 2. And when you're initiated, you wear 3. So that's a sign. If somebody sees you with 3, then they know you're initiated. And if you wear 4 or 5, then you'll confuse everybody. So don't do that. Follow the standard. And also be aware of the fact that wherever you go, you're representing Krishna. You're the representatives in this world, and people know when they see 3 strands. When I got on Swiss Air the other day, we were flying out of Bombay, and as soon as I got on, and I was just walking back to my seat, 2 people saw my neck piece, and they just said, Hare Krishna. I got to the next area, Hare Krishna. Like, all right, Hare Krishna. So the neck beads also are a reminder that I've taken these vows, and it's an esoteric piece of paraphernalia. I hate to call it like that, but it's what it is they're made from tulsi leaves. Tulsi is the expansion of Vrinda Devi, who's one of the intimate associates of Krishna in the spiritual world, and from Vrinda Kund in Vrindavan, which you can visit. She has her disciples who are all parrots. Do you know she has a parrot on her hand? And that parrot there are millions of other parrots. And that's the surveillance system in Vrindavan. They all fly around and they scope out all the best places for Krishna's pastimes in the day. Every morning she charts it out, does Vrinda Devi. And that's one of the spiritual power centers of our Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. I know this is all very, very esoteric, but I had to put some esoteric kata here today. And there's a way in which, when we wear these neck beads, we're remembering that we are aspiring for that very specific realm called Vrindavan. Vrindavana means Vrinda, the forest of Tulsi. And so these are beads made of Tulsi. You got 3? You got 3? Getting there. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yours are already on. 3, 3. How do you feel? Different? Yeah. Okay. We may need super glue in the front row here. And so, first of all, can we put you got the seat there? Okay. So, Pankaj, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't know what it is, but Pankaj looks different to me. In some parts of India, it's a family prerequisite to have a mustache. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, knowing the traditions of India, when he gave initiation, he would say, no mustache. Prabhupada had a mustache, and he shaved his mustache for his initiation. It's a big deal, because when we're initiated, there's a way in which we're saying Krishna is the thing, not a thing. And so now for Pankaj, we would like to hear from Radha Kripa Prabhu. I wonder why Radha Kripa Prabhu. Okay, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Today is a very, very joyous occasion for our family, both material family and spiritual family. As Pankaj, my younger brother is now joining our spiritual family. So thank you, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma.
Haribol.
Thank you very much for accepting both Priyanka and Pankaj to our family. Pankaj, spiritual journey, Krishna consciousness journey especially started almost in 2002 when Shivas Pandit Prabhu did the first home program in Fremont. Thereafter, I think he made a gradual, slow but steady progress to reach this occasion. Pankaj is very sincere. He's fully dedicated, and whatever job he picks, he just put his 100% in it. And he doesn't seek much recognition, but he's fully dedicated. Hard work, nobody can match. And if you will find him sometime wherever there is for the prasad distribution, Pankaj would be there. And about Pankaj, I think I should say that I'm really proud of him. Especially our mom would be really happy today, seeing that Pankaj has taken the step which she asked me when I actually took the initiation. So how about... He didn't know that one part. I just wanted to disclose that. So I think today she would be happy, and I'm really praying and seeking all the blessings of all the assembled devotees to bless Pankaj and Priyanka both, so that they can serve Guru Maharaj and eventually Srila Prabhupada to spread the Mahaprabhu's mission. Thank you.
Your family is now officially entering into spiritual dynasty territory. So, dear Pankaj, please tell us the vows you've come here to make today.
Hare Krishna Gurudev and Guru Ma, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On this auspicious day, God Purnima, I vow to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day. And I also vow to follow 4 regulative principles, which is no meat eating, including fish and egg, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. I very joyfully give you this name, which is a name of Krishna. Pyari Charana Das.
Pyare Charan Das Prabhu ki. Pyare Charan Das Prabhu ki.
Priyanka. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shamalangi.
Hare Krishna devotees, and today is a very joyous occasion. I've been knowing Priyanka now for more than 25 years, and I was in the selection committee when we brought her to our family, material family. And I'm so happy that now she has joined, our spiritual family, and I'm hoping she'll support me in getting all the other 52 cousins into the same family. Yeah, that's my prayer. And I'm sure the devotees here know by now, Priyanka is a very pleasant personality to work with anywhere. She's easygoing and flexible. Even in the family, she's very adaptive. She'll adjust according to the needs of the family, doesn't complain. She's hardworking and very committed to her service. Whether she takes a small thing or a big thing, she's fully committed. I'm sure Bhakti community people and the Sunday school will agree with me. And one noteworthy thing is that she's very good with kids. And I have to say, because I am not, and my kids probably like her more than me because of that reason. Yeah, if any kids, she can just take them. She's very patient, caring, and makes everything fun for them. And I pray that, she is always in the association of pure devotees, and she can support Mahaprabhu's mission and get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. May we have many opportunities to serve Maharaji and Mataji together. So I just pray today, and I'm very happy.
Dear Bhakti and Priyanka, please tell us your vows.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna Guru Ma, please accept my humble obeisances. Today, on the day of Gaura Purnima, I vow to chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life. And I also vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, namely no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, including fish and eggs. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. Well, according to Shamalangi's description of you, this name is fitting because it has a word which means fixed in it, and it's the name of Srimati Radharani. I very joyfully award you the name Prema Nishta Devi Dasi.
Prema Nishta Devi Dasi Mataji ki. Prema Nishta Devi Dasi Mataji ki. Jai.
Tulsi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama Hare Hare. Way to go, Tulsi. Hare Krishna. Anandi. Hare Krishna. Not yet.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
First, where did you come from, Anandi?
Oh, good. That's my next part of my line.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Ananda Shakti Devi Dasi, and like Tulsi, I'm part of the ISKCON Hillsboro, ISKCON Portland congregation in Oregon. And I have known Tulsi for the past decade and a half. I have known her as my young Sunday school student, curious and enthusiastic, and then as a kirtan-addicted high schooler, as an introspective reader and kirtaneer in her college days, and post-college as a supportive and artistic Vaishnavi friend. I feel overjoyed that Tulsi is taking this wonderful step of initiation, and very grateful to her parents for always encouraging and supporting her, especially in her Krishna consciousness. And I'll share one inspiring story about Tulsi and her parents. When Tulsi was a baby, her parents were determined to give her Indian culture and values. They brought her to a local temple. As soon as they stepped inside, though, Tulsi began to cry, and no matter how they tried to soothe her, she would not stop. They stepped out of the temple, and Tulsi was immediately quiet and calm. Not giving up, her parents brought her to another temple. They brought her to ISKCON Silicon Valley, when it was on Bascom Street. They stepped inside. Tulsi remained peaceful. It is Krishna's beautiful poetry that over 20 years ago, baby Tulsi chose ISV as a place to receive India's spiritual culture. And now, as a mature adult, she is again in ISV, choosing to commit her life to following India's spiritual culture in the pure form given by Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
That was an amazing offering. Definitely a teacher. So articulate and beautiful. Amazing. Tulsi, this is a day we've all been waiting for. I know I have been, and it's just a joyous day to have your parents here and your beloved teacher. And thank you for all you've done to your parents and to Ananda. And please tell us your vows.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, Hare Krishna Guruma, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today, in front of Shri Shri Radha Madana Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, Shriman Dameshwar Mahaprabhu, and all the wonderful devotees here today, I'd like to make the following vows. Firstly, I vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every single day for the rest of my life. And secondly, I vow to adhere to the 4 regulative principles, namely no meat eating, including fish or eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with your grace. We've chosen a name for you of one of the principal gopis. Your name is Tungavidya Devi Dasi.
Tungavidya Devi Dasi ki! Tungavidya Devi Dasi ki! Tungavidya Devi Dasi ki!
Bhaktin Shirley. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All you. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pavani Bhakti.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. Thanks for your causeless mercy on Shirley. And today I'm speaking on behalf of Ananda Vrindavan and myself together. I just want to give a little flashback that in 2021, January 8th, Shri Gopal Das Prabhu got a voice message from Shirley that she has been attending our programs. She has been looking for God all her life, and she believes that she has found God within our organization. And she wants to talk more to somebody else on the next steps that she has to take. I was really surprised by that message because she was already working with us, but she thought there's more to this and I should be connected to that quickly. So she had a serious sense of urgency on getting closer to God. And the best quality of Shirley is that, first of all, she has read all possible self-help books. And but she was never satisfied with all that. And so she consistently, without fail, always attended all our programs at Bhakti Community, whether rain or shine. And she also went through a lot of other YouTube channels from ISKCON. We didn't even know what all she was reading and going through. The whole day she was just be hooked on to attending Krishna conscious classes, to the level that, to the extent that she would even chant with the San Diego Brahmacharis. And I was really surprised how she found them, and she would just chant with them. And you know, her biggest service has been her attendance to all our programs, even ISV programs, her reflections and her serious questions. And Guru Maharaj, you always tell us that you determine the level or the progress of a devotee by the questions they ask. And Shirley actually has the hardest questions. Whenever I get a message from Shirley, I first hover it to see what is it about. And if it is about a question, I just go underground for Shirley for 2 days. And then with a lot of courage, I open my WhatsApp and see, okay, there's another question. And I pray to Krishna, please help me that I can satisfy her with this answer. So her questions are really hard, and she reads a lot of books. And I just want to tell you a little bit glimpse of some questions. Why can't the demigod attain transcendental knowledge and perfection in their material bodies? What stops them? That's one of her questions. Why does Prabhupada says death is sleeping for 7 months? And then a lot more, because of time I can't read this too many. And actually last 2 years, every initiation time, Ananda has been asking me, is Shirley getting initiated? And every time I ask Shirley, how many rounds are you chanting? Shelley would say, not 16, and full stop. She doesn't want to give any discussion further, not 16. She knows she needs to get to 16. So almost 4 times, last 4 initiations I asked her, she said, no, not 16. And then this time when I called her, she told me it's 32. And I was like, I was really surprised. Does Shirley know what she's saying about? And then she gave me a very complicated answer, and she told me, I group 108 times 5, 3 times, plus 2 round, and then I do a little bit extra, come to 32. And I was like, really? What does that mean? I'm very bad in maths, so I asked everybody in my household, what is this? Nobody could understand. Then I had to go multiple times back and forth. She had some serious equipments on chanting and counting and all that. She showed me a picture. Finally, I understood it was more than 16. I didn't go beyond 32 to conclude. 16 was enough, and I was like, really, Shirley, this is great. Let's get initiated. She was like, no, I don't think I'm ready. After a lot of conversation, she agreed, and she's here today. I'm so happy she's here. She has strong conviction that she has chosen the right path. She has scrutinizingly read everything, and she keeps reading. I'm so honored and privileged, actually, that Shirley is here today. And I pray that she continues on this journey and attains her love for God. That's what she's here for. So all the best. Please pray for her, everyone. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My brain is stopped. Hare Krishna. Guru Dave. Guru Ma. Okay. Thank you. Before I start, I want to thank everybody. Everyone has been so pleasant to me. I've always felt welcome. Always. I have to let you guys know that. Thank you. Okay. In the presence of Sri Radha, Mata Mahan, Sri Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, Sri Lakshmi, Narasimha Dev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembly devotees, I take the vow to strictly follow the 4 regulative principles, namely no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. I take the vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra, Maha Mantra, every single day for the rest of my life.
Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. Yours is a name of Srimati Radharani. His name is Shamasundar, and your name is Shamasundari Devi Dasa.
Shamasundari Devi Dasi ki! Shamasundari Devi Dasi ki! Shamasundari Devi Dasi ki!
Bhaktin Kennedy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Home field advantage. Pavani Bhakti.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, for your compassion and extreme care leading Kennedy to this day. I can really see the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this auspicious day flowing through you to Bhaktin Kennedy. That's the last time I'm going to use that name, Kennedy. You know, like many of us, Kennedy faced a lot of challenges navigating the material world and material relationships. And she was looking for something positive to change her life. And that's when she found us via our dear Nikunja Nayak Prabhu, our book distributor. He brought her to the community for Bhakti community, and slowly she started coming to ISV. Actually, today is a very special day for all of us, and I would like to actually give heartfelt thanks to all ISV members, because the way you have welcomed her, the way you have embraced her as a family, it is something she is never going to go back, and she'll ever be indebted to the love that the community has given her. So actually, congratulations to the whole ISV community for this day, and especially to Kennedy. And I also want to offer my acknowledgement and extraordinary efforts by Kanka Mataji, actually for opening up her home, everything, her heart, and you have given so much guidance to Kennedy. She's here only because of you and all the efforts and love that you have given her at your home, and we are so thankful and grateful to you for that. And actually, Kennedy is very actually, once she was attending Bhakti community, and when she came to the ISP for the first time on Saturday program, she saw everything going on. She told me, I can't believe that there is such a place that actually exists. It was so much from her heart. She just was like, is this even possible in this time and age, like this kind of place? And when she went to LA Rath Yatra, she stayed there. And when she met me at LA, she told me, this is how I really want to spend each day of my life. And I could see that, like the inner yearning and the love for God that she got. And I was so thankful that, somehow by Kanka Mataji's blessing, she came to the LA temple and got that experience. So I have actually, if you all remember when she came, she was a tomboyish girl. She would just wear like tight clothes and, just like come very casually. And now she's such a beautiful, well-draped, nicely hair done, and sari and tilak and bindi. I mean, she has transformed so much. It reflects her inner beauty actually comes outwards. That's what I always see when I see Kennedy now. And she reads a lot of shastras. I was really impressed by the way she made her notes. She should post it somewhere. Adi Leela, if somebody has not seen how she makes notes and how meticulously she studies, she's very good in articulating all the reflections in all our Bhakti community sessions and ISV. She inspires many people by those, just by opening her mouth. So I think, okay. Did I say about Nikunj Nayak Prabhu? He gave the books, yeah. Okay, I think overall this is great. I just pray that Kennedy can continue her journey and she exponentially grows in a spiritual path, and she remains humble and with the right mood, and she serves the devotees. That's my prayer for her, and please wish her whenever you meet her today. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Mother and father for being here today and supporting her.
Diana and James, thank you very much for being here, because you vote with your feet. And when the whole family is present, it gives a sense of completeness, that this is an organic, integrated process. And any one person getting through a complete lifetime and staying in one piece, just in general, requires a lot of support. A lot of support. It requires support from every side, as the world is a very trying place, and you being here has made this a very meaningful initiation, even more meaningful. I can think of when I got initiated, my parents weren't there. Of course, I wasn't there either. I was on traveling Sankirtan, but when they did come to our wedding, it was kind of, we don't want to have isolated worlds. We want everyone included and to be all together playing our roles of support. And so kudos to you of what you've done, and thank you very much for being here. It's very heartfelt. Her grandfather's online. Let's give him a hand. Where is he? Hello. Thank you. Fantastic. Well, I first noticed Kennedy because I heard that voice coming on the Zoom call. I was like, who is that? The voice of being very confident, and also you came in with a knowingness of the bhakti process, in a sense that you embrace it so deeply. I first noticed that you were a light that came in to the community, and we're very happy you're here. Thank you very much for all you're doing. Bhakti Kennedy for the last time. Following the eternal... Yes? Oh yeah, your vows. I'm glad I have two attorneys here just to make sure that the process goes correctly. Oops. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Ma, Guru Dev. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I make the vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds every single day for the rest of my life, and to follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, including fish or eggs, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very powerful vows. Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. Yours is a name that is very dear to me, and I hereby joyfully award you the name Kartik Devi Dasi.
Kartik Devi Dasi ki! Kartik Devi Dasi ki! Kartik Devi Dasi ki!
Bhaktin Barbara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wow, Pavani Bhakti. I just like to say Pavani Bhakti is a mother, spiritual mother to many. She and Jayamadava Prabhu, Anshu Anushri have literally opened their home they came here specifically to do this. They changed countries to come here and do this service. And the results speak for themselves, that you've given your heart and soul, you've given your house, and this is the highest service that one can give, is to give your own life to help nurture others so that they can come to Krishna consciousness. Thank you for all you're doing. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, again for your compassion for my dear Barbara. And again, I'm speaking on behalf of Ananda Mataji, Ananda Vrindavan Mataji, and myself. And Bhakti in Barbara was brought to Bhakti community by our own Achyut Balram Prabhu. I think he was here, I saw him, yes. And yeah. He actually deserves a standing ovation because, he has... Actually, why I said that, because Achyut Balram Prabhu has actually always, I see him physically holding Barbara's hands wherever Barbara is, and spiritually always holding her hand. And I see the relation between them is like a spiritual mother and son. And she always remembers him every time we talk about how she came to Bhakti community. And Barbara herself also, like Shirley, has tried many things before coming to our parampara. And now that she has found Krishna consciousness, I can see that for her also, it's not looking back. She's very convinced. And what I have also seen is that she went through a lot of health challenges, major challenges. And during that time, she was so fearless. We all were scared, but she made us she was so fearless. And we were so proud of the way she was dealing with her health challenges. And she has a childlike enthusiasm for everything. She comes to the Bhakti Circle, it's a program, and she leads circle rooms. And people love to be her. She has something very open heart. She welcomes everyone in the room. People start sharing their extreme personal things with her. And that's her service, actually. And she does it so beautifully. I always am her helper in that, actually. She's the lead and I help her. So that's a very good, we love that, combination always. And she never says no. Every time she has told us, I'll be there, and she's always there too. She never says no for any service. And even though she is in Atlanta, she barely goes to the temple, but she comes to ISV and she attends all our programs. And she really loves the community. So thank you everyone for being so nice with her. And she also recites shlokas, even though she's not her native language. She learns the meters and she reads with us every day, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And when we are memorizing the 11th and 12th canto, I think it was in December or something when it was announced, and within a few weeks she memorized 3 verses. The first 3 were very hard. And then she quickly wrote, where do I send this? I've recorded this. Who should I send this? And we told her 2 more months are there, so don't worry, you have more time. She was so enthusiastic, tell me who am I supposed to send this to? So she's really amazing on that. Actually, she loves Nitai Gauranga. Since last year, she has been telling me that next March I'll be initiated. And many times in our reading, she said, March is coming, no, I'm getting initiated. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, you are getting initiated. And Maharaj does this Nitai Gauranga mantra in Bhakti community, and she really loves that mantra. And it is so I cannot imagine how all this happens, but today is the day, Gaur Purnima, her birthday was 2 days ago. She's here on Gaur Purnima, getting her initiation done. And she always, I've seen that, no matter what the doctors are saying, she's always positive and she's always in the moment, has full faith in Krishna. And again, I'm very fortunate that I'm talking on her behalf today. And I really pray that she can make huge progress in her experiences that she gets from Bhakti, and keeps giving Krishna consciousness to everyone she meets. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thanks, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Guru Ma, Guru Dev, all humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. I have something here. I have it memorized. So. In the presence of Sri Radha Mandana Mohan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Lakshmi, Narisama Dev, Srila Prabhupada, and all assembled devotees, I take the vow to strictly follow the 4 regulated principles, namely no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. And I take the vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for the rest of my life, every day.
Bhakti and Barbara for the last time. Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees. I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. You'll find your name in the Nectar of Devotion, and it's a very sweet name which is known to all as one of the main terms in devotional service. I joyfully give you the name Bhakti Rasa Devidasi.
Bhakti Rasa Devidasi ki! Bhakti Rasa Devidasi ki! Bhakti Rasa Devidasi ki!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Bhakti and Sumati. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hansapriya.
Hare Krishna. I'm actually doing this service to Ajit Arjun Prabhu because he just put me on spot. Actually, it is quite a mercy of Ajit Arjun Prabhu that we have a Sumati here today. And Sumati and Ajit Arjun Prabhu are such a wonderful exemplary devotee at community of ISV. Ajit Arjun Prabhu was naturally attracted to the Krishna consciousness. But when Sumati realized that Prabhu is taking on Krishna consciousness seriously, she came at ISV probably 8 years ago. And then she checked out who we are, what are we doing? Is he really into something serious? And in a moment, she just picked up the mode of the ISV. And her simplicity is just so wonderful, so contagious. And her desire to get engaged in the service is just really incredible. It felt immediately after 1 year, her being in community of ISV, it felt like she's been around for a long period of time. She started helping Siddhikatha Prabhu and Mataji with the Sunday cooking. She started helping Krishangi Gopi with the Rajbhog. She joined Ananda's reading group. And the minute she figured out that Vaisesika Prabhu should be my Guru Maharaj, Ajit Arjun and Sumati came to me and said, please take us to Prabhu and Guru Ma. We want to take a shelter from Prabhu. So Sumati actually is a very, very gentle soul, and she is really devoted, not to her spiritual master, but the mood that she follows Vaisesika Prabhu's. And she's always doing something or other in the for the pleasure of the devotees. She has showed up to the devotees' home with the prasadam. She has showed up at the temple when there is one word out that there is a help needed. She has showed up. And she's always doing something and always keeping the vibration going in the mood of her spiritual master. So it is very, very proud day for me to be here in this Gaur Purnima on this very auspicious occasion of you taking shelter of Vaisesika Prabhu in the Guru Parampara. So thank you for being part of our ISV.
Hare Krishna Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruma. Please accept my humble obeisance. Today, at the day of Gaur Purnima, I take vow to chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life and follow 4 regulative principles, namely no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. Yours is a name of one of the Manjaris from Krishna Lila, who was also in Gaura Lila, according to the Gaurakanadesha Tipika, was an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Manjari in Krishna's Lila. I joyfully give you the name Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi.
Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi ki. Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi ki. Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi ki.
Bhakta Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yashoda Kripa.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to Guru Maharaj, Guru Ma, and all the devotees. Happy Gaur Purnima.
Jai.
So, Bhakta Krishna, we met in around 2.5 years ago. Our kids are almost the same age, and it's a kids' play date. So it's a great way to preach Krishna consciousness. So if you have kids, multiply the Krishna consciousness with that. Okay. And if you don't have kids, then please have kids. They're very helpful in preaching. So I was very impressed by his strictly regulated life. He is very passionate about strict diet, exercise, physical fitness, as you can probably see. And in his personal life, he's very, very disciplined. He's very, very, he manages time very nicely, gets up early in the morning, and he goes to work after chanting his rounds and exercise and everything. And after COVID, he started serving with me in temple reopened around 2021-22. And then if you had Saturday morning feast prasadam, chances are that he was a part of my team. If you have liked the decoration on Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, and all the festivals, there are high chances that he has been a part of the lighting and decoration team behind. If you have enjoyed the Harinam Palo Alto audio video, live or on telecast, or any home programs, guest speakers, everywhere in the Bay Area, in 50 miles radius, there's a high likelihood that he has been a part of connecting the wires and joining the cables to get it to your house. So he's been a part of all the behind-the-scenes work. And what personally, my connection with him is in our spiritual practitioners community, there are certain principles for our harmonious, loving exchange of relationship, and we call them dadati pratigahanati, gohya makhyati prachati, bhungte bhojayate chaiva, shadvidi priti lakshanam. Means the spiritual practitioners, we exchange a few things that help us in growing our loving relationships, and they are: we give gifts, we receive gifts, we serve others food, and the others give us prasadam, we receive from them, and we confidentially open our hearts, and we ask questions and reveal our heart, right? So he has been pretty good. He likes to read. He has questions from Maharaj's lectures or Prabhupada's purports, and he asks them regularly, and he finds time. I'll get to that, how he finds the time, okay. But he asks the questions via WhatsApp and in person, and he is good in giving gifts and everything. That's all great. But if there is one thing that he is doing meticulously really well, is the art of asking these questions. And is one thing called, like Rupa Goswami wrote in the book, and then how we apply in our real life. So applying those things in our life, one should learn from him how he does it. He likes to eat sweets, mithai, and he says, "Do you have something?" So, yeah, bring it over. I'll eat all of that. And then he just eats a lot of sweets, and he asks questions while eating, and he discusses his real life practical situations. And return, what he bribes me with, he gives me protein shake to drink, and he makes me sit more and more and longer. and that's how he likes to ask questions and discuss things in detail. So on this auspicious occasion, I'm very, very happy and so excited to see your spiritual growth, Prabhu. And thank you, Maharaj and Guruma, for taking Bhakta Krishna in your shelter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj and Guruma. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On this auspicious day of Gaur Purnima, I vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life, and follow 4 regulative principles, namely no meat eating, including fish and eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Thank you, Bhakti Krishna. Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. Your name has a lot to do with Gaur Purnima because there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that has your name in it, and it's also a name that means Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I joyfully, without further delay, award you the name Krishna Varnam Das. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Varnam Das ki! Krishna Varnam Das ki! Krishna Varnam Das ki!
Om Shankar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Koladweep. He's always here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Mataji, and all the assembled devotees. So I have known Om Shankar Prabhu since a decade almost. He was not married at that time, and I was newly married. And he was always enthusiastic. Whenever he came to temple, he used to do chanting and dancing with full enthusiasm, till now also. But what actually attracted me towards him is that his humility. Because it takes a lot of courage to ask question to someone who is your peer. So whenever he was confused, he would come, or he had a doubt in something, he would come to me, or I know some other devotees also, Mukharanand Prabhu, and he would ask question that why it is like this. And he would also argue that why it is not like this. So this was very interesting. I always enjoyed talking with him in that manner. And another thing I also noticed that personally he is very clean and he maintains Vaishnava etiquette to the full extent. So much so that I see that he maintains the awe and reverence relationship with his spiritual master, even though he lives so closely, but he doesn't feel comfortable to be very close to him or ask a question directly or talk to him directly. Many of us become familiar, and we sometimes breach that etiquette platform. So that also attracted me towards him. I appreciate his mood of serving the family. He is very much family person. He gives quality time to his kids and always try to hold Krishna conscious program in his home. So I had got chance to visit his home a few times, and wherever I see, it's full of Krishna consciousness, paintings, murals, pictures. Is always in that. Even he shared that he visited Australia and New Zealand, and there also he associated with temples and devotees and the restaurants, everything related to Krishna consciousness. So I'm very happy that today he is officially accepting this Brahma Madhya Karya Sampradaya, and he is accepting it from His Grace Vaisesika Maharaj. So I'm very, very happy that he is being connected to Srila Prabhupada's family today. So I request all the devotees to pray for him on this most auspicious day of Shri Gaur Purnima, so that he can continuously progress in his spiritual journey. Hare Krishna.
Mukharavinda.
Hare Krishna. It's my greatest privilege to share some thoughts about my dear friend Om Prabhu. He, like two words come to my mind when I remember his happy devotee. If you want to see how happy devotee is, just like that two words always reminds me. And he came to ISV, like Maharaj says, like there's a tunnel of devotees that comes from India. So he got introduced of Krishna consciousness in India in 2011, and then in November 2000, when he was working in Bangalore, and there he got introduced to devotees. And as my very good dear friend Koladip Pranpu has shared his qualities, he won the heart of the devotees there. And then when he came here in 2014 November, I still remember the first class, he was sitting right there and then he asked a question to Maharaj. Maharaj, I came here from India, and I am having so tough time to chant, because there I used to go with devotees association and everything. And then he had that question. I could see that he had so much sincerity to ask that question in front of everyone. And then I think you asked him that question, that how many rounds you chant. He told 10 rounds. And then something happened to him that next week onwards he started 16 round, and it's been a decade now that he's chanting 16 rounds since then. That thing. So I could see that the relationship between a spiritual master and disciple, I generally don't see that you ask that question to everyone. You ask that question to him, and I think that question is inspire him to take further, and he kept that from whatever things. Some of the qualities that that I admire from him, like Prabhu was also saying, that he's very thoughtful, he thinks, and he's very detail oriented. And as you were saying in the lecture today, that putting all aside to Krishna, and that's what his one of the thought was there when he was buying a home. He was again and again recently bought a home, and he was again and again just describing that how can I use it for service of Krishna. That was his constant thought. And when we visited, we could feel that yes, that's what his mood, and he's right in that mark. And some of the services that he did here is like he's doing is like you can always find him in the Janmashtami parking team. I think Sudeep, our Sundar Achyut Prabhu is nodding his head. I think is one of his main person there. He's every Janmashtami he will be there. He's a very expert camera person, and you can see him dancing every Sunday enthusiastically in the kirtan. And one thing that he is a very big prasadam lover. I can say that he has that faith in prasadam. I can see that he has gone to extra miles by that. And some of the I just and apart from that also, as Krishna says, like in Yesam Tantagatam Papam, those who are like determined. So I could see that quality of determination from last decade. He has, whatever thin and through he has kept his chanting. And I think I was discussing, and also to raise a beautiful family, we have Jigisha Mataji, his wife, and beautiful daughter Vaishnavi here. And they are the big testament for this. And she was telling me one day that how Prabhu makes sure that even his midnight or what, he finishes his round, and that inspired her to further her Krishna consciousness. And she shares with me how that quality of determination and not like just telling something and following not inspired her to take. And we can see that she is being a integral part of our community here and their whole family. So that showing by example, I can see that from Om Prabhu's, and so he's this last statement, he's a loving father, he's caring husband, responsible son, a smart engineer, and he has like so many various like science, anything you can take, like he has so much interest. And apart from, but all of them, how he connects to Krishna is like really amazing. So on this auspicious day, I pray that he takes complete shelter of Guru Maharaj and fulfill his vision to spread Sankirtan all over the world with perfecting all his responsibilities. He be a friend to all living entity and develop the deep taste for chanting and holy names, chanting holy names and the Shastras. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna Guru Ma. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Madan Mohan, and Sri Lakshmi Singh Dev Bhagwan. You have chosen to give me Harinam Diksha on this very special day, and I'm a very lowly person. I don't know if I am qualified for that, but I'm very grateful to you. I take a vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds every day for the rest of my life. And I take a vow to follow the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling. Please accept me at your lotus feet and keep me in your shelter.
Dear Bhakta Om Shankar, following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees. I am exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. I think you'll recognize the name. I joyfully award you the name Sankarshana Balaram Das.
Sankarshana Balaram Das Prabhu ki. Sankarshana Balaram Das Prabhu ki. Sankarshana Balaram Das Prabhu ki.
Arjun. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sukeshri.
Hare Krishna. I am super happy. Arjun sitting there and getting initiated. I know Arjun when he was 4-year-old. Wow. They moved right opposite to my house in Kopatino. And Arjun would come to my house to play, and he had this spontaneous attraction towards the deities. So he would actually ask me, whatever I do with the deities, he has to come and help me. So the first night, we changed the night dress, and then I put them on the bed. It was very spontaneous. So I know for sure that he had Krishna conscious from his past life. He said, can I massage their feet? And I was like, a 4-year-old is asking me, can I massage Gaur-Nitai's feet? I said, yeah, why not? Then he told me, they have been standing all day. I said, that's so true. I never thought about it. And then, so he was tiny, so I had to put a little thing that he could grab, and I would hold his hand and he would massage my Gaur-Nitai's feet. And he started off this whole thing, and of course, parents started coming to our house. We were just opposite. We ate our dinners together, lunch together. We became like one family. And then he started, his mom was thinking that they were eating non-veg at that time. So she thought that, he needs to get some protein. And she said, the chicken I'm feeding is eating chicken. It's not living chicken. So I'm not too sure how he got to know. I guess it's Shastra, who is just 4-year-old and an extremely naughty kid. He said, there's nothing like, I don't know, I'm just kidding. There's nothing like eating chicken. The chicken is living. So he goes to his mom and he says, I'm not going to eat what you're giving me because this is living chicken. And slowly he made all of them vegetarians. And then came Ekadashi. And then he told his mom that I want to eat only Ekadashi. Mataji didn't know at that time how to cook Ekadashi. So he says, okay, he will go to my house and eat. He will not eat in their house because he's not very sure what his mother will feed him. And then came onion garlic, and she was like, okay, this is hard for us. It was, without meat is different, but now without even onion garlic, I don't even know how to cook. So she took recipes, and then she started, of course, I very strongly feel that Arjun is the reason behind their entire family being Krishna conscious. And I'm so happy for you, Arjun. I just can't, I'm not going to call you Arju anymore. I'm happy for that. I call you with another beautiful name. And I pray to Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Lakshmi Nrsimhadevan Mahaprabhu to bless you so you continue to inspire everybody. And I continue to be inspired by you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, Hare Krishna Guruma. Today, I vow first and foremost to follow the 4 regulative principles of freedom, namely no meat eating, including fish and eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. I also vow to chant at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Following the eternal principle of parampara, giving Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul. Taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul. And depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees. I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. One of my favorite places. I joyfully award you the name Adri Raj Das.
Adri Raj Das Prabhu ki. Adri Raj Das Prabhu ki. Adri Raj Das Prabhu ki.
It's the name of Govardhan. If you didn't know. Adri. And and now a very heartfelt appreciation of Sundara Chuta Prabhu, who is one of our heroes at ISV. Give it up. Right? No, you could stay there and we'll glorify you from here. Now you can have a look at him, though. One of the great stalwarts of ISV, whom I've taken into my heart very deeply. And when I met him, he had a relationship with His Holiness Jayapataka Swami that burned like a flame for many, many years. And because of his service, his humble service, it's notable. I mean, I meet people from everywhere who say, oh yeah, I know him. He'll be behind the scenes with a smile on his face, cleaning the bathrooms in the most menial, humble way, and always come out looking the most blissful of anyone. And we've been with you on this journey, and it was just so heartfelt how you came to Mayapur, and even, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj has thousands and thousands of disciples, and usually the initiations are massive. But somehow or other, because of your humble service, much like Prataparuja, you got a personal audience and direct personal initiation with just you and Maharaj in Mayapur. So it worked out too, because what we got to share in it with having you here, there's no time for a yagya there, and Maharaj also was not in the best of health, so we felt that it was so appropriate that you came here for the yagya, so we get to share in the celebration. Hare Krishna. And now Janaki will say a few words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are so glad and happy that this day has come. It's been a journey of 15 years. 15 years ago in January is when we met for the first time, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. So through this journey, the ups and downs, the doubts, the confidence, and to get to this day, it has been a very inspiring journey for him and for us, along with him. What I say generally with Sudeep is, or Sundar Achyuta Prabhu, is his nature is, either a flood or a drought, kind of a. So the Sacramento ISKCON congregation, I feel, opened the floodgates for devotional service for him. And the ISV congregation were like the Lord Mahadev, who got that flood water and moderated it, so that way, when people around him come in touch with him, they are also blessed with him. And one example for that was when we first got into this, there was a lot of wariness, sense of caution is what is he getting into, what does it mean? Is he going to initiation is give everything up. But over the years, with his dedication from the guidance from different members of ISV, and I won't even be able to name everybody, because different points of time there have been people who have been guiding him, supporting him, how to engage in devotional service while taking your family and those along, though they might not be at the same pace with him. And because of that, even the extended family in India, who were like, what is he getting into? Now when he got initiated, and he would himself say that there was a sense of happiness for him. So I would say it's all his commitment to get to that level, so that way at this stage there is more a sense of happiness and blessing. And I ask all of you to continue supporting and helping him get ahead on this path. Thank you.
Janaki, now we know you're such a good speaker, we're going to have to be calling on you more. That was amazing. Thank you. Really beautiful.
I was very scared every time anyone was speaking, he would look at me like, what are you going to say?
Well, it's a very intimate thing we're doing here. I mean, we're acknowledging that we're all in this together. And it's something that is very heartfelt. We live together, we serve together, and families come together as one in service here. So hearing all these appreciations of the service that has been done and getting to know each one of the devotees, it just increases that sense, which is the essence of our success and our community, which is love and trust. And now we get to hear from his daughter. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. I'm really happy to be here. I think we all are really happy to be here. I remember at every initiation, I would go and ask my dad, when are you getting initiated now? And I'm really glad that he finally did get initiated. And I know your name is now Sundar Achyuta Das, but I'll always call you Baba.
That's it. Now, the next phase, we're going to have a fire ceremony. The fire is the tongue of Agni, who will accept the oblations of ghee and grains. For those of you who are further back in the luxury boxes back there. You'll have a little tray, with a bowl, one full and one empty. And so when we say swaha, when I say swaha, you can repeat swaha, and your right hand, you see these two little fingers? Looks like a little deer. You can pick up the grains. And if you're in the front row, you can put them right in the fire. And if you're in the second or third row, then put them each one into the empty bowl. And at the end, we'll offer them all into the fire. And now we're going to have kirtan forthwith. And we'll be right back to start the ceremony in about 4 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare.
Hare. Now, we need a couple of volunteers to read the Bhagavatam out loud, one in each corner. So if you like that service, and you can open a book here, there, here, and there, and just read to yourself out loud. And then we'll have a transcendental vibration going. And we're going to start with some mantra and purification. Om Savana Vavatu Savana Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinam Meditam Astuma Vidvishabhai. Om Shantis Shantis Shanti. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Om Asya Kamana Punyaham Bhavanto Brabhantu. Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Punyaham. Om Asya Kamana Swasti Bhavanto Brabhantu. Ayushmati Swasti. Om Swastir Om Swastir Om Swastihi. Om Asya Kamano Ridhim Bhavanto Brabhantu. Om Ridyatam, Om Ridyatam, Om Ridyatam. Om Swasino Govinda Swasino Chutananta Swasino Vasudevo Vishnu Daratu Swastino Narayano Naro Vai Swasina Padmarabha Purushottam Daratu Swasino Vishvakshvena Vishveshvaraha Swasino Shrishikesho Harir Daratu Swasino Vainatayu Harihi Swasino Ananjana Suto Hanur Bhagavatu Daratu Swasti Swasti Sumangalai Kesho Mahan Shri Krishna Sakchit Ananda Ganaha Sarveshwareshwaro Daratu. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param Sada Pashyanti Surayaha Diviva Chaksharatam Tad Vipraso Vibhanyavo Jagrvamsaha Samindate Vishnuriyat Paramam Padam. More kirtan. Upbeat. Go.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And now you can prepare yourself to offer grains to the fire. And we start with the Vyasta Samasta Maha Vyahriti Homa, which is like opening the internet to the heavenly planets. If you hear that sound when the old modems, this was the original internet opening. Om Pu Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namama Om Puva Swaha Idam Achutaya Idam Namama Om Swaha Idam Narayana Idam Namama Om Puva Swaha Idam Anantaya Idam Namama. And please repeat after me. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Swaha Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shiva Shakanvitamscha Swaha. Swaha. Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne Swaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Swaha Shivarshabana Videvi Gaitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Gaine Prabhave Namaha Swaha Maturyo Chwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Swaha Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Apasiddhanta Twanta Harine Swaha Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Sambode Vadambujaya Te Namaha Swaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sakchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha Gaura Virbhava Gomestvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha Vansha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindhu Yaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Hridayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Swaha Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mamamanda Bhatergati Matsarvaswa Badambo Jao Radha Madana Mohanao Swaha Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devao Rishtalibhi Sevyamano Sramami Swaha Shriman Rasa Rasadam Pi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Swaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Swaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Swaha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha. Now, all the initiates can stand up, and once you stand up, you can grab your banana, or if it's easier to grab it before you stand up, and come near the fire. Om mantrahinam krihinam bhaktihinam janaranam yat pujitam maya devam paripurnam darastu me. You need to just make a circle, come close to the fire, but not too close. Always the best advice. And others can, if you're in the back and you have your grains, and you can bring those also. And if anybody else in the audience wants to help by moving the asanas and any of those trays and stuff like that, don't worry, obstacle course. Just make path, take everything away, because we'll need some space to circumambulate. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmane Hitaya Cha Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Swaha. Om Purnam Adah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Now we'll circumambulate the fire. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 2 levels. Go faster. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can't hear you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. All over the world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Beat that drum. Go, go, go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. God Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Harinam Mantra ki, Shri Harinam Prabhu ki, God Premanande. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privraja Gacharya Shto Tarashata Shishimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privraja Gacharya Shto Tarashata Shishimad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Anantakul Vaishnava Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sakoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki. Shamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki. Sambeta Bhaktivinoda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Haribol. She said fasting till death. Wasn't that what you said? Tell them what they want.
Congratulations to all the initiates, and congratulations to Bhakti community on their first graduating class. The certificates and your japa beads can be picked up in the pujari room. If you have any ghee or grease on your hands, I suggest you wash your hands before taking your certificates. And that's it. Keep us into the